Hey there, On Tracker. Scott Graves here from the On Track Music Guitar School, and we're continuing with our blues study. So we're just kind of getting into the blues right now. And when I left you, I said, hey, get these basic chords down, this basic shuffle move down for these chords that we're going to do on this key of A shuffle. So let's do that right now. I'm going to pull up a file from my Guitar Pro that is going to play. Let's share my screen with you. It's going to play the track for us. And what we're going to do is we're going to play along. I'm going to leave my window fairly small in this because what's going to happen is Guitar Pro is going to show you where you're at on this, and it's going to follow along the progression. And it's as it plays through, this thing kind of moves up like that. And if my mug is in the way, you're not going to be able to see where you're at. So we'll go through this one just kind of following it from the progression, because that's the point, is I want you to be able to play along in the order that it happens. And then we'll do somewhere you're seeing me play along, real big on your screen. But here we go. I'm going to start on this A. It's going to give us 4 clicks, and then we'll start. This is going to be at a reduced speed. This says 100 beats a minute, but we're going to do it a little bit slower. I'll be playing in the little window on the screen. If you're on a laptop or a phone, it might be hard to see that, but I'm just going to start, and we'll start on the key of A. Here we go. Here's the A. Now we move to the D. Back to the A. Okay, so nice job. Hopefully you did that. If not, try it again. Keep doing that. That was at 80% on the Guitar Pro track. So 100% would be a little bit faster than that, but that's a good one to start out with. Now, let's go back to a little bit more explanation of the blues. So I'm going to stop sharing this screen, and I'm going to share another one with you, okay? What we want to do now is I want to explain a little bit about the 12-bar blues being a 1-4-5 chord progression. You may have heard that. Sometimes people say, hey, this is a 1-4-5 progression. People go, what is a 1-4-5 progression? Well, I'm going to explain that to you right now, okay? So pull this a little bit bigger. So first of all, the 12-bar blues is a 1-4-5 chord progression, and the first chord of the blues progression is the chord that names the key that it's in. So this progression, here's our 12-bar blues in the key of A. It's just written out across one line here. The starting chord is the 1 chord, okay? That's the key that this is in. So if I want to know what key this is in the key of A because it's the starting chord, okay? So A is the 1 chord in the key. So the chord that names the key is your 1 chord, okay? And that's what this Roman numeral 1 is representing, okay? Now, in the musical alphabet, the letter D is 4 notes away from the key of A, right? If I went up, if you follow my cursor here, here's an A. If I went up the alphabet, if A was number 1, I'd go A, B, C, D would be number 4, okay? So because D is 4 letters away from A, that makes D the 4 chord in the key of A, okay? So A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4, D is the 4 chord. So in the musical alphabet, the letter E is 5 notes away from A. So again, over here, A, B, C, D, E is 5 notes away from A. So that means if I'm in the key of A, if A is my starting point, E is the 5 chord for the key of A. It's 5 notes away, 5 letter names away, okay? So E is a 5 chord. So these Roman numerals tell you this is the 4 chord in the key. This is the 1 chord in the key. This is the 5 chord in the key. And that's what we say when we say the blues is a 1-4-5 progression, okay? Now, a 1-4-5 progression is any progression that uses a 1 chord, a 4 chord, and a 5 chord. In the basic form of the 12-bar blues, this is what happens. We start with our 1 chord and we have 4 measures of the 1 chord. Okay, that's the basic form. It starts with 4 measures of the 1 chord. Then it goes to the 4 chord. That would be the D for 2, for half as much. Okay, so 4 of the 1, 2 of the 4. Then it goes back to the 1 for 2 measures. Okay, and then after that, it does a 5, and it does a 4, and it does a 1, and then it does a turnaround. In this case, our turnaround, this is called a 5 chord turnaround because we're using the E, the 5 chord, to do the turnaround. Turnarounds can vary, but this is a 5 chord turnaround. It's really, really common, okay? So if we were playing through this in the key of A, if I said play the 1 chord, you play the A. 4 chord is D. 5 chord is E, okay? So that's really, really important to get used to, okay? So let's do this. I'm going to go back to this guitar profile. So I'm going to stop sharing this screen and go back to my Guitar Pro screen. And let me see where that is. Where's my Guitar Pro screen? There it is. Okay. So we're going to play this. And actually, I'll tell you what, I'm going to just go ahead and play the track. But what I'm going to do is I will this time show you all big on the screen. I'm going to play through the progression and I'm going to call out the chords instead of A, D, E. I'm going to call out 1, 4, 5. So 1 is A, 4 is D, 5 is E. And I'm gonna start the progression. As soon as I start it, I'll stop sharing the screen so that it just comes into me nice and big. And we'll play through this progression together. And I'm gonna call out Roman numerals. So let's do that. Get ready on your 1 chord, which is the A, okay? Here we go right now. Here's the 1 chord. Started the next thing. Okay, so you got the idea. So we're calling out instead of A, D, E, 1, 4, 5. So we're thinking in terms of numbers instead of letters. And that's going to be very important as we get into deeper aspects of the blues. But I just wanted you to understand kind of what that basic form is according to those numbers. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'm going to share the screen again here. We're going to go back to our blues unit. So now we've done a 1, 4, 5 in the key of A. Let's look at the key of E, basic 12-bar blues in the key of E, okay? So 12-bar blues in the key of E, if we want to know what our chords are for the key of E, remember E, if we're in the key of E, E is going to be our 1 chord. So if E is our 1 chord and we're in the musical alphabet and we want to go up 4 notes from E, we'd go E, F, G, A would be our 4 chord. So our starting chord would be E, our 4 chord would be A. The 5 chord, we're going to go up 5 from E, E, F, G, A, B. The 5 chord is going to be B, okay? So our chords for the key of E are going to be E, A, and B, okay? E, A, and B. That's what we're going to use for our progression. Now let's look at how to make those. We know how to make E. Okay, it was the 5 chord in the key of A. We already learned how to do the shuffle move on E. So in this case, we're going to start with E. So we're going to be doing our shuffle E on move on E for 4 bars. We know how to make the 4 chord, which is A. Okay, the A was the 1 chord in the key of A. So in the key of E, we're going to use it as our 4 chord. So after our 4 bars of E, we're going to go to 2 bars of A. That'll be our 4 chord. Okay, then we'll go back to the E. Now, on the B, this is a little bit different one, okay? For this, just for right now, we're going to do a regular old B kind of a power chord, and we're not going to do a shuffle move on this. This is just going to make it a little bit easier for those of you who are newer to guitar, okay? And what we're going to do is our B chord is going to be this B power chord, and then we're going to do this move in the rhythm, which is, this is the root of the chord, kind of root, root, chord, root, root, chord, 1 and 2, 3 and 4. So let me show you up in the little box here on the screen what that looks like. Actually, let me just go ahead and share the screen with you, or stop sharing the screen. So here's my B. Okay, so there's the B, there's my root right there. And then I've got a couple ways that I can do this. I can put a finger here, and then that's the root. And then I'm going to put one here on the 4th fret of the 4th string. Now I can also snug my pinky in behind that like that, so that in case I go past these 2 strings, that pinky will pick it up. Or I could bar these 2 for those of you who know how to do a B5 already. There it is. That's it. And the move that I'm going to do, instead of the shuffle move on this, I'm going to go root, root, which is the 5th string, root, root, chord, root, root, chord. So I'm just going 1 and 2, 3 and 4, okay? And that's what I'm going to do for my move on my B, okay? 1 and 2, 3 and 4, okay? And that's just a little bit easier than doing the shuffle move on the B. So for the key of E, I'm just going to kind of show you this, and then I'm going to want you to practice it. When I go through the key of E, I'm going to start on my E, and that'll be my 1 chord, and I'll do 4 of those. It'll be like, and then I would move over to my A. That'll be my 4 chord, and then back to my E. Now this is what the B will look like. Then to the A, then the E. Here's my turnaround. The turnaround, the 5 chord turnaround, is the B chord and still just 8th notes. And 2 and 3 and 4 and, okay? So I'm going to pull that graphic back up here. Okay, share the screen and pull my graphic back up. Okay, so what we're looking at right now is this section right here. So what you should do right now is I want you to stop here, and I want you to get this move under your fingers, okay? Try and get this key of E down. So again, you know the E chord, you know the A chord. We're just going to work in that B, okay? And we're going to do the chords in the order that we would do for the key of E. So that's really important. Key of E is a big chord, big progression to know for the blues. So let's have you stop right here and kind of get that underneath your fingers, okay? And then come back, and we'll do the same thing that we did with the A. We'll play it together with the track and make sure that everything's going okay that way. So go ahead and stop right now, get under your fingers, and then meet me back here in the blues zone, everybody. Take care, On Trackers. I'll see you shortly.